I've noticed a rather unusual thing trending lately. At first, I presumed it was just another remake of a classic film. However, much to my surprise, these claims were of a bona fide alien encounter rather than the Ridley Scott version. I'll be honest, I for one was relieved. It was reassuring to hear that I wasn't the only one who'd experienced such a phenomena. It was the summer of 2006. I had lost interest in my academic path and decided to take a couple of semesters off in order to try and rediscover myself. It was proven to be a daunting task, so I decided to start simple and try and check off a couple of items from a bucket list I started as a kid. I found the list folded and tucked away inside an old shoebox, pulled it from the container and began to read. It didn't take long to realize that this was going to be a terrible idea. The list mostly consisted of things that only a child would feel gratification upon completing. Things like chew an entire package of Big League gum at once or stay up until midnight. It wasn't until I made it to the end of the list that I realized there was something that I could work with after all. A single word in all capital letters. Space. The following day, I submitted my application to NASA's Student Volunteer Program and to my surprise managed to secure a position. My heart had been set on tour guide, however my brain hadn't quite met the requirements. Turns out they expect tour guides to know a lot of stuff about space. I did not. Anyway, my role was to be one in custodial services. I had heard a rumor that Harrison Ford was a janitor on the set of Star Wars when he was discovered, so I certainly wasn't sad about being a janitor at NASA. I didn't become a star, but I did eat a lot of space ice cream. Also, I got to clean the planetarium, which was a magical experience all in itself. I typically volunteer for the night shift for that very reason. That's actually where this story begins. I had just finished cleaning and was taking a load of items to the recycling bin out back. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was late, cloudy, a scent of rain on the horizon. I was tossing a large bag of plastic cups into the bin when I noticed a streak of light across the sky. A shooting star, I thought. The streak of light then reversed itself, shining bright directly above me. It didn't so much lower itself, it was suddenly just directly in front of me. The light began to fade as three figures walked intently towards me. They stopped, crossed their arms, and at the same time asked, "Well?" I stood there speechless, staring at the three things in front of me. Their costumes were impeccable, to say the least. Whoa, you guys killed it. I didn't even know there was a con going on this weekend, but the costumes? Wow, you guys really nailed the Alf look. They began to murmur amongst themselves when the one standing in front took a few steps towards me. "Creature," he said, "we know not of this elf in which you speak. We are the dignitaries three who have traveled far to confront the atrocity bestowed upon us by lesser beings. You must answer for your trifles." I smiled and began clapping slowly. Okay, I don't know who you guys are supposed to be, but this performance is award-winning, fellas. I hope you guys got best costume tonight, because if you didn't, the contest was rigged. Another murmur broke out amongst them. The one in the front spoke again. "Tell me, creature, does this level of intelligence permeate the species as a whole, or are you unique in this regard?" I laughed, extending the Vulcan salute. "Once you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth." Another murmur, much louder this time. "Very well," the so-called leader of the bunch said. "Then tell us, why have you declared that we are no longer deemed worthy of being called planet in your tongue?" "Wait, what?" I asked. "We, the dignitaries three, stand before you as Plutonians, inhabitants of the world Pluto, asking why we are no longer deemed worthy of having planetary status." "So, you're saying Pluto isn't a planet anymore?" "Yes," he said. "It has been declared by you and yours." Damn, I gotta start reading those flyers outside the gift shop. Another murmur. "Are we to presume that you knew not of this?" "No, this is the first time hearing of this, but okay, maybe this is just elementary science talking here, but Pluto will always be a planet in my book." They all began to nod in unison. "We thank you and accept your addendum to our planetary status. For today, the dignitaries three declare to you and those of you who share this planet the following. Let us be friends." Without another word, they vanished, poof, gone. It wasn't until that moment that I realized that they were actual aliens and not just a bunch of friends coming from Comic-Con. I know that story may sound a little far-fetched and that a lot of you aren't going to believe me. Hell, sometimes I struggle believing it myself. Nevertheless, to the doubting Thomases of the world, I implore you, consider this. Would I make up a story such as that just to tell you how great this salad is? Because, seriously, that makes no sense, right? Although, this is a pretty great salad. Come on, would I lie to you?